Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a TV show.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's right. Episode 1, Season 1 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
New World Order.
So we are post-Endgame. Not much.
5 weeks.
A few weeks or months have elapsed since everyone returned from the blip. Billions of people returned from the blip. But everything has changed. The landscape has changed, politics, just everything you can imagine. The world is in chaos.
It makes sense.
It does. I do wonder, of course, I like to wonder about the blip and what happened. But I wonder if it was worse when they lost everyone or when everyone came back. Like, what creates the most chaos?
It's bad on both sides, that's for sure.
It really is.
And so now it's bad on this side.
Yes. So, did you like the episode?
I did like the episode.
Say that. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. So you think this is a new series that's worth getting into?
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is different than WandaVision.
Very
because
different.
Because WandaVision was different.
Right.
This is more like the movies.
Classic Marvel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a little more character development, which I liked, because both Falcon and the Winter Soldier have not had backstories in the movies.
They've been sidebarred.
I mean, Falcon's in the Avengers movies for like a few minutes, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. They never get the screen time they probably deserve.
No, they're both good characters.
Mm-hmm. So here they are on Disney Plus, getting their due.
Getting their due.
So it's the new one to get into. This one is 6 episodes long. So the first one dropped today, and then they will come out every Friday for the next 5 weeks. Let's get right into it though, because there's lots to discuss about this episode. I hope you've seen it. Please join in the discussion if you've seen it, because I've got some questions.
Well, you would.
Yes, I would, right? Of course I would.
Yeah.
But let's start at the beginning. It opens really strong. It opens with heavy-duty action scene. Basically, Sam, or the Falcon, is being asked to save some dits in the army. He got himself kidnapped. And Sam has to go in for basically like an undercover rescue, because things are like, this is over Tunisia and Libya. No, Libya?
Yep, that's right. Okay. North Africa.
It's in places they're not really supposed to be, the American army. So they need to do this on the down low. So Sam goes in.
So you bring an Avenger.
Yeah.
And keep it real low profile.
I did think this guy does have giant wings with the American flag painted on them, but
yeah, he's pretty recognizable.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'll see a plane. Of course, this guy flies, so a lot of his big work is in the sky. It's fitting. The guy is not napping at the controls. He is dead. The plane has been hijacked by the bad guys who are there to steal
the soldier for some nefarious purpose.
Whatever.
We don't really know. It doesn't matter.
So there's huge action going on in the sky. The bad guys are like flying squirrels, because everybody ends up jumping out of the plane.
Yeah.
And then choppers come in, bad guy choppers come in. Yeah. And there's like missiles.
Yep.
It's nuts.
A canyon chase.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Everything you'd want from a aerial battle.
Yes. And Sam is badly outnumbered, guys.
But
what's going to happen?
He's going to win.
He's got to win.
He's a superhero.
Yes. And this is the establishing shot of a brand new series starring him, so he really deserves to be, And this is like pretty much the first time we've seen him do his own solo stuff.
Yeah.
It was just him alone, the only superhero we needed.
That's right.
They let him do one by himself, guys.
And he made it.
And he did it, so yay. So this sets up a guy on the ground, his boots on the ground during this operation. A new friend, a new ally perhaps, Joaquin. He's the guy on the ground, played by Danny Ramirez. So time will tell if he's important during the entire series, but he certainly was a new guy for this episode.
Yes, he was.
So not only is he instrumental in this operation, but he kind of becomes his eyes and ears for the bad guy we're setting up for the rest of the series. So that's what he's going to be doing. He's keeping an eye on that stuff. Meanwhile, Sam flies home to Washington first, where there's this big commemorative ceremony, I guess, for Captain America. So you may remember, and what are you doing if you didn't watch Endgame yet? I have no words. Steve passed his shield on to Sam at the end of Endgame. But it seems Sam is not quite willing to take up the mantle.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. He still feels like it belongs to someone else, and of course it does. Was Sam ever going to be the next Captain America? Did we even really need a next Captain America, or couldn't he just continue being the Falcon? In any case, he sort of passes the shield on to the Smithsonian in this ceremony and gives a nice speech about how the times are changing and maybe we need new heroes. Is that really the reason he's given it up? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. There's something there. I mean, he knows he's been a sidekick at best up until now. Perhaps he's just not feeling worthy enough yet. I bet this series is going to change things.
Well, it is going to change things. It has to change things.
It better. I mean, it's, we're in a bad place.
But we also know that Sam's plan, or get the feeling that Sam's plan was that no one should be Captain America.
Right.
Because that belongs to Steve Rogers. And that's why Sam doesn't want it. Mm-hmm. And that's why he's happy to give it to the Smithsonian so that they can put it on display and just honor his friend.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's a thing too, is that this was like a close friend of his. So I think there's a lot of stuff tied up in that. And Rhodey was on hand for the ceremony.
He was. Well, you'd invite him.
You would, yes. I'm always excited to see Don Cheadle. So he pops up to say hello and to sort of check in on his friend, I think. Because I think he knows something's up too.
Yeah.
Although he also is a sidekick who recently lost his,
That's true. They can relate.
They should be able to relate. So, meanwhile, even though this is called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, these two are not buddies yet. They're not hanging out together. They are completely separate in this episode.
Yes, they are.
Bucky is in therapy. So we learn very quickly that he has been pardoned, but as a condition of his pardon, he has to go to this therapy. And he's also making amends. So,
which is nice.
Which is nice, yeah. I did sort of wonder if it's like government mandated amends or if it's his own initiative. But he's setting things right. He's got a list. And so we see him sort of take down a senator that he, when he was part of Hydra, had given power to and now is taking it back. So there are 3 rules to his little game of amends. 1, nothing illegal. 2, nobody gets hurt. 3, he has to sort of do this little spiel, this little identity, like, I'm no longer the Winter Soldier. Which is funny for a show called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
And I am making amends. So, what is up with that?
Well, he's trying to heal.
He is. He's trying to turn a new leaf, I guess. But it seems like something's going to draw him back in.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
It seems inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hero.
Well...
He is now. That's his new leaf.
He has the opportunity, I guess.
He was from the beginning. Then some things happened. And then he became one again.
Some terrible things have happened to this guy. And that's true. Like, this is what we learn in therapy. And God bless therapists. But he basically has not stopped for 90 years. This is the first time he has really the time for self-reflection, and it's not going well. He's got regrets. Although, I mean, you know, how much of it was super really his fault?
Yeah, well, obviously he has the memories, and we see a flashback in this episode. But he wasn't in control.
Right.
He was programmed.
But he definitely is still experiencing the nightmares, no matter what he tells the doctor. Just, he is. So he is struggling. I do wonder what will happen to drag him back in. Meanwhile, he does have a friend, guys, because the therapist feels like she's his only friend, Dr. Raynor. So she's played by Amy Aquino, and I bet we'll see her again. It's kind of interesting to see him in these sessions because, I mean, first of all, he's from an older generation that probably doesn't even believe in therapy.
Yes.
But he's also just, like he said, has been going his whole life. Steve got to have a nice long nap in the middle of things, but Bucky, he's been working overtime.
He has. And he was only working for many, many years. That's why he doesn't show his age, is because he was frozen for most of that time in another way. And they thaw him out whenever they needed some murdering.
Some murdering, yes. Well, he does, in fact, have a friend. His name is Yori. He is an adorable old man, played by Takemoto. And I mean, I was willing to just believe they were friends because they're age mates, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
they knew each other from way back.
Right. They like to go out to lunch together. But his little friend, Yori, would really like to see Bucky have a romantic partner. So he he plays wingman when Bucky does not want to be picking anyone up, but this old guy is fixing him up.
Yes, he is.
So he also has a love interest named Leah, played by Miki Ishikawa. So he's got some people in his life, okay, therapist lady. He's got two friends beside you.
I don't think the therapist is his friend.
Okay, maybe she doesn't count. So that's what's going on with Bucky. He's trying to date. He's adorably old-fashioned, he is told. For a 106-year-old,
He's keeping up.
He tried
online dating.
I mean, can't we see that? Like, give us that. I don't need this. Like, this is too marvelly. Like, let's watch Bucky date, please. I could watch a whole series of that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, back to Sam, the Falcon. He's gone home where he has a sister. So we meet his sister, Sarah. She's played by Adepero Oduye. And she has been struggling. So 5 years, Sam was gone. He was blipped. But Sarah and her kids have been around. And she has been struggling to make ends meet. They have a family fishing business, and it's basically gone belly up. So Sam is trying to help her out with that, get a loan, and surprisingly, even being an Avenger is not really qualifying him to help her as much as he thinks it would.
Well, he's a Black Avenger, so I think that's coming into play here.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of the rich benefactors are dead now.
Yeah.
You know, you would think there was a fund to take care of them.
You would think.
You know, Tony.
Come on, Tony, what'd you do with your money?
Well, I guess you should not have left it with Gwyneth Paltrow. That was lesson number 1.
She spent it on herbal remedies.
Oh boy. And vagina candles, and she's, should not have been trusted with the Stark fortune. Anyways, so his family's going through some stuff, and there's clearly some resentment because he left. He's helping the world, but hasn't had time to help his family. Plus, he was blipped. So Sarah has really had to do the heavy lifting. And I think this is a good representation of what a lot of families would be going through when somebody comes back. And the blip, you know, we're hearing in little fits and starts from all these shows, was a really difficult time for the people left behind. And those times, some people are not really willing to let go of. So we remember Joaquin, the sort of boots on the ground guy who was going to do some work for Sam. He's, or I guess, sort of spying on this organization called...
the Flag Smashers.
The Flag Smashers, that's right. So these people believe life was better with the blip.
Oh, they're just terrorists.
They are. I mean, they look for any excuse, right? So, and they're, I think, using the chaos of right now as cover to do what they want. To have a different kind of world. I mean, of course, it always ends up being like stealing money, which is not really all that different.
No.
But thanks for trying. So, we do learn some interesting things about who these villains are going to be. Set those up a little.
Yeah, we meet their leader for a few seconds before he smashes Torres' face in.
That's right. Also dispel some Captain America rumors like, where's Steve? Is he possibly on the moon?
He's not.
Well,
we don't know.
That's exactly what they would say, though, isn't it, Sean?
It is, you're right. You've got me.
And then the episode ends with something a little alarming. The Department of National Defense introduces a new Captain America.
Yes, they do. Yes, he is.
Just gonna say.
Yep. He's not Sam.
He's not Sam.
He's John Walker.
Ooh, so I don't know anything about that, but I feel a little worried.
You should be.
Okay.
John Walker's not reliable. It didn't go well in the comics when he was Captain America for a while.
Okay.
It's probably going to play out pretty similarly in this series. I imagine that's the basis for it. It's a run in the 80s in Captain America where Steve steps aside and they appoint John Walker, and he's not up to the job.
Few can be as righteous as our Captain America.
Well, that's the problem, is he's a little overzealous. And he starts killing people. So it's not really a Captain America-y thing.
Okay. Well, you never know what you're gonna get. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Careful what you bargain for, because if you give somebody that kind of power, and they did give him his shield.
They did.
Ooh, boy, that
Sam's
stung.
not happy to see that.
Not happy. Of course he wasn't. Sam, what did you do?
What's he gonna do?
Oh, better question. What's he gonna do? I guess we're waiting until next week to find out.
Yes, we are.
So, you liked this episode?
I did.
Okay.
And what did you think for not knowing anything about anything?
I thought it was fine. Like, I'm not as excited about this as I was WandaVision, because it's not, like, startling and different and fresh. But I think, you know, it's setting up some interesting sort of side stories on these characters of who they are and where they're at right now. And I like getting the little trickles of information about what happened in the previous 5 years, because a lot of people didn't get to live those. And they're just catching up. So I think it is weird to just, you know, drop Sam in and he's just trying to figure things out, and it's not really fair. And, yeah, apparently his tax returns are a mess. How does he make his money? Who's been paying him all this time? We're asking some...
Inquiring minds want to know,
yeah, some real juicy questions now that we've finally got the time. What is he doing for a living? Who's paying his bills?
Maybe we'll find that out.
Oh, boy. So, yeah. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Another... big swing from Marvel. Phase 4 of the MCU, Disney Plus is raking it in. I'm sure they're high-fiving each other right now because they've got
Repeatedly.
another
Yeah.
hit on their hands.
Yeah.
They've really made a name for this streaming service real quick.
Yeah, they have.
So, I guess you're hooked. You're going to be watching.
Oh, I'm
this.
going to be watching.
Okay.
Didn't you already know that, though? We're going to watch all of these.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to. Oh, we can't be left behind.
we'll see.
I guess we will.
Well, I mean, you could watch them.
Okay, that's true.
So, Marvel, I'll give you this one. I mean, I was hooked from that opening scene. That was a good opening scene. And I liked everything that followed. I liked what we're setting up. So I will tune in again next week. So I'm giving you like a week by week basis right
Yeah, but
now.
that's a victory for them.
I guess it sort of is, yeah. So what did everyone else think? What did you notice in this episode? There aren't probably as many Easter eggy things as WandaVision where you had to like hunt for clues and stuff. This is a lot more straightforward. But certainly for fans of the comics, there's stuff to pick up. There's stuff that you know that I don't know. And so it is interesting to hear from everybody and what everybody thinks about the new heroes, the new villains, and how it's all gonna shake out because we only have 5 more episodes. So we got a lot of work to do.
We do.
Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Bye.